Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Justina. Welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today, I'm going to discuss the energies and the astrological events happening in January. And just to let you know, I follow Western astrology, tropical zodiac, and this horoscope is most accurate for your rising sign, also called the ascendant sign. However, you can also watch it for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish, just to get a bigger picture, wider perspective on your life. The timestamps are in the comment section and also description box down below this video. So this is an overview for the upcoming month, January. And then as we approach January, I will release additional content that will get you slightly closer, and there will be more details into what's really going on. Here, I'm giving you today a little overview of the energies resonating in the upcoming month. All right, so first of all, Pluto will move into Aquarius. So yet again, that this massive transformative energy is taking place. And it's not the final, well, it's not a final departure from Capricorn. Pluto will return into Capricorn in the second part of 2024. But we are experiencing these final moments of that Capricorn energy in 2024 as Pluto fully establishes itself in Aquarius. We also have, as always, a new moon and a full moon in Capricorn, a new moon, a full moon in Leo. Venus, Mars will change signs. So there's this shift of energy, very fresh and different energies. And also we've got air energy finally. That's actually quite great as well, because air is connected to movement. With air energy, things move quickly and fast. So as you will see that the first quarter of 2024 will move really, really quickly. All right, so let's start from the first sign, Aries. So here, Aries, welcome. Now we start with Mercury stationing direct in Sagittarius at 22 degrees on the 1st of January. So here there's this forward momentum because Jupiter would have also stationed direct in the final days of December. And then the 1st of January, here at 22 degrees of Sagittarius, we've got this stationary motion and a direct motion here as we move forward. The post-shadow period will end on the 20th of January. So here in the first 3 weeks, you can still experience a little bit of that Mercury retrograde theme. But overall here from the 1st of January, Mercury is regaining its strength, so communication, transportation, rational thinking. This is all going to get back to normal. If you feel like perhaps you lost touch with some people in your life, they might return into your life. And perhaps if you experience a lack of clarity or confusion in regards to which direction to take, which path to take in your life here, you will also regain that clarity as we begin 2024, and you will start to implement the ideas that you had during the retrograde phase here throughout the month of January, especially since we've got so much focus upon your 10th house. Career is really emphasized this month, and January is definitely a month for you, Aries, to take charge of your career. That growth and development is really, really emphasized very strongly. So on the 4th of January, we've got Mars moving into Capricorn, where it is exalted. It's a really, really strong placement for Mars. And Mars in Capricorn is practical, disciplined, responsive, conservative, but also controlled, traditional, and cautious. So a few keywords just to give you a little perspective of what this could mean for you. So overall, with Mars in the 10th house, you can really, really take charge of your life. Here, if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like you lack direction, Mars will help you to really, really move forward. And you can really climb your career ladder this month if you dedicate enough energy, physical energy. Mars is your chart ruler in the 10th. Here, the focus is on your career. Definitely, you can start looking for a job as you begin the year. You could be having interviews as well. You could be also, there is so much potential here with these energies as we begin these first weeks of 2024. So here with Mars in the 10th house, you are determined to reach your goals, to reach your objectives. So here it's a really fantastic time to move forward with any career and professional life related projects, ideas, plans, whatever it is. This could be also when generally you will dedicate a lot of physical energy into your career growth and interviews or updating your CV. This could be also very much the case, or a greater involvement in specific projects, because there's a lot of energy here pushing you forward and encouraging you to reach your objectives connected to your career. All right, so moving forward on the 12th of January, we've got a new moon in Capricorn happening at 20 degrees. So here a new moon occurs when the sun and the moon meet at the same degree in the same sign. And this is the beginning of a new lunar cycle. So something fresh, something new is about to emerge in your career area. So you've got Mars here, Mercury is approaching this area as of life yet again, and Pluto is about to leave. So you might experience this feeling of now or never. And this could be a time when you might want to take some risks, especially since Mars is here, your ruler, and Mars is connected to risk taking. But here with Mars in the 10th house is all about determination, hard work, dedication. But at the same time, this could be when you'll be perhaps making a transformative decision, or perhaps implementing a transformative idea into your career area. So there is an element of transformation here that is taking place with this new moon, but at the same time, some new and fresh new beginnings connected to your growth, to your professional life development as well. Perhaps this could be connected to some changes related to these one-to-ones, since you've got the eclipses and the nodes here triggering and bringing to life your first and seventh house. So for some, this could be connected to change of upcoming change of status, for example, or this could be about also a new contract, a new agreement, and involvement in some really significant project. Or perhaps at this point, it could be about an idea, a realization that could then escalate into something more significant connected to that career and professional life growth and development. Now, on the 20th, Pluto will move into Aquarius. It's not yet the final departure from Capricorn, because in the second part of 2024, Pluto will retrograde back into Capricorn. But this year, Pluto is establishing itself permanently in the sign of Aquarius. So here we are going to relieve the energies that were already activated in 2023 when Pluto crossed that 0 degree of Aquarius. And it's all about that major transformation that is going to be taking place in the upcoming years in the area of friendships. So your friendships are transforming, your approach to people, to your social circle is also undergoing a major change. Some people will be moving away. It's a natural process, especially since you also have the South Node in your seventh house. And this is connected to a major shift in these one-to-ones as well. And with Pluto moving into your 11th house, it's a strong indication that for many Aries rising individuals here, these friendships, one-to-one connections are undergoing a major change. So some people will be departing and new people will be coming in as you also transform. The North Node is in your first house, so you're reinventing yourself. It's all about these major new beginnings connected to that identity, connected to personal growth, and something that could help you to feel great and more fulfilled in your life. So here, your goals and hopes and wishes are also transforming, and you'll be redefining how you want to spend, or where you want to be more specifically in the next 5 or 10 years. And now Pluto moving into Aquarius, this is just the beginning of something huge that will occur in the upcoming year. So yes, your goals, your hopes, desires, wishes for the future are going to transform. So there's major shift At the same time, this could be about your need to belong to a specific tribe, a group, or perhaps you want to change or make a difference in the world, and perhaps belong to a special cause, a specific cause. So yeah, so lots of different interesting energies here with this movement of Pluto into Aquarius. It's all about the collective, the people, rather than the individual needs. Right, so Venus will move into Capricorn on the 23rd. So here, yet again, your career area is emphasized. So with Venus in the 10th house, this is often connected to a greater appreciation in your career, in your outside world. There's so much happening in your outside world. There's a strong focus here on the outside persona, on your career, on friendships, also on your stand within this society. Right, so here Venus in Capricorn is can be devoted, old-fashioned, patient, mature, responsible, and this could be also connected to perhaps a new connection that you might form throughout this transit with another female connected to your career. Perhaps there will be a new manager or a new person coming into your organization. Or perhaps if you will be starting a new job, there could be also some financial or some interesting perks that would be involved or included in the contract. A gym membership, for instance, or some discounts to local restaurants, for instance, something like this. All right, so overall here, yes, with Venus in the 10th house, there's this appreciation that you might experience, or perhaps a recognition as well for your hard work. All right, so on the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo happening at 5 degrees, so an early degree of Leo, and a full moon occurs when the moon and the sun are in opposition. So here the 5th house is activated. This full moon is connected to a new moon we had 19 months prior this event. So here this new moon. So this would be a new moon around August 2022. So something is coming into light connected to the events that occurred in August 2022. And this could be connected to your business or perhaps a hobby and interest. And full moon is about letting go, or perhaps something moving to the next stage. So if it's a business, if it's a project, then perhaps you'll be moving or redefining, reshaping it. A full moon also brings full clarity, full awareness. So perhaps this could be also when you have an important conversation with your romantic partner. This could be about making some important decisions as well. You could find yourself having conversations about family planning or children. And for some, this could be about giving birth or conceiving, or perhaps this could be about anything to do with working with young people or teaching. And overall here, yes, business is emphasized. And if you perhaps established a new business back in August 2022, you could see some interesting outcomes at this point that would make you want to either take this business to the next level, or perhaps implement some changes. And it's all about also having these new and strong realizations connected to perhaps how much fun and entertainment, pleasure there is in your life. And if there isn't enough, then this full moon will make it very visible and noticeable, and perhaps prompt you to perhaps bring more spark into your life. Now we end the month with Uranus stationing direct, and at that point, all the planets will be moving in a direct motion until the very end of March. So take advantage of these energies, because when everything is moving forward, all the planets in the sky, it's much easier to reach our goals, to reach our objectives. The energies are moving forward motion, forward momentum. Now, Uranus is connected to energies, eccentricity, uniqueness, originality, a revolution, rebellious energy as well, unexpected, sudden circumstances. There's this energy connected to unpredictability. This retrograde will end at 19 degrees of Taurus in your second house. So here, perhaps there is going to be a little shakeup in your money area. And perhaps if some of your urges to implement some changes in your financial area, or perhaps if you've been wanting to ask for a pay rise, or if you've been expecting a pay rise, or if you've been thinking about purchasing a new car or making this major purchase, but you've been thinking a lot, but you didn't have the inner strength to make it happen, or perhaps you didn't see that it was possible at the time. Here, generally, all these suppressed energies connected to that Uranian energy now might suddenly erupt, and you might want to make something happen here, something that has been on your mind, but perhaps the circumstances were not appropriate and now. So here it's all about that financial security, stability, money, income, resources, possessions. So here perhaps a sudden idea might become a reality, no longer a dream. So here there's this shakeup that you might actually experience. It doesn't have to be something about loss. No, it doesn't have to be negative at all. But here Uranus is connected to energies that perhaps want us to free ourselves from some obligations, financial obligations, or some obstacles. And perhaps, yes, so basically, if these energies were repressed or suppressed during the retrograde phase, now with Uranus stationing direct here, you might want to implement the changes, the ideas in that money area, and that perhaps you didn't have the inner strength to implement before. This could be also about getting rid of things, decluttering as well. And yes, perhaps you want to become a minimalist in 2024, and Uranus will help you to make it happen. All right, so thank you very much, Aries. I wish you a pleasant month, and let's move into Taurus. So hello, Taurus, and welcome to the horoscope for January 2024. So here I'll give you a little overview of what you can possibly expect to happen here this month. Generally, the first 3 weeks are really centered around the ninth house, so anything to do with your freedom, your independence, your purpose. Generally, if you've been feeling like you're not on track, and especially since Mercury was retrograde here as well, so this could have prompted you to reevaluate your life path, and the direction you want to take moving forward. Now in January, there is this forward momentum. Mercury will station direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius as we begin the year. Jupiter would have stationed direct at the end of December, and here you've got also Mars from the 5th of 4th, 5th of January in your ninth house. So lots of energies really prompting you to reach your goals, to reach your objectives here. Mars in Capricorn is connected to discipline, responsive energy, but at the same time here, practicality and caution is also here very relevant. Now, as we begin the month, we've got Mercury stationing direct in Sagittarius at 22 degrees, as I mentioned just a moment ago. So here, anything to do with communication, lack of clarity concerning the direction you want to take, here things will start to move forward and you will regain that clarity you may have lacked. Or generally, it will be easier to make a decision, to be more concrete and grounded. Here, Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus doesn't always like changes or sudden changes. But here with Mars connected to that determination, and here Mars in Capricorn is exalted, Mercury stationing direct, you will have this energetical push to make things happen. Here, cardinal energy is dominant as we begin the year. Cardinal energy is action-oriented. So here, these first few weeks of the month might really stimulate you to generally, first of all, decide which path to take, which direction to take. If you've been feeling like you're a little bit your life is kind of out of balance. Now, if you've been wanting to study or book a holiday or perhaps go to a concert, generally do something that is connected to generally energies that give you a little bit of freedom, adventure, spontaneity, then here you can make it happen as we begin the month. So generally here, Mercury stations direct. Then we've got Mars moving into your 9th house here into Capricorn. So with Mars in the 9th house, many Taurus rising will be either booking a holiday or traveling, or perhaps you'll be also engaging in activities that will allow expansion. So expansion of your wisdom, knowledge, and new experiences are really emphasized. Perhaps this could be also when you'll be really stimulated to update your passport, deal with perhaps any legal matters, any legal documents. It's all about Jenny getting on with it. Now, at the same time, we've got a new moon in the Capricorn at 20 degrees on the 11th. So it's all about new beginnings connected to your purpose, to your life principles, life philosophy, and connected to general experiences that will help you to reach the stars, so to speak, because it's the 9th house. So it's a very optimistic house connected to that Sagittarian energy. And a new moon is about new beginnings. So we've got Pluto at 29 degrees at this point. So it's kind of like a now or never feeling. And if you've been really wanting to do something that could really help you to feel free and could help you to generally lose this heavy energetical baggage that you may have here carried, especially with that those eclipses between 2021 2023, then this new moon will really prompt you to take action and take charge of your life, of your destiny. So new beginnings connected to travel, connected to perhaps you could be this could be about having some really strong realizations as well. You could be redefining your life principles. You could be also some theme connected to your family-in-law, perhaps brothers or sisters-in-law. There could be some of your involvement in their lives at this time. Overall, you could be also reconnecting with people, friends who live abroad. As I said, travel or planning travel for some time in the future. This could be also related to some kind of career developments, because whatever happens in the 9th house has a huge influence upon our career growth and development as well. All right, so on the 20th, Pluto will move into Aquarius, and that's your 10th house. And it's not the final yet departure from Capricorn. Well, here, Pluto will return into Capricorn in the second part of 2024. But here, Pluto is establishing itself more permanently in Aquarius in 2024. So it's huge. This is like a massive, massive shift. And I'm sure you have already felt these energies in 2023. So massive changes in your organization could be taking place, a huge shift in your departments. Perhaps your organization is bought by another external organization. So there's this huge shift that could be taking place. I've seen it over and over again in many Taurus rising individuals' charts. Now, on a different level, you could be retiring or you could be returning back into work after you have already retired. So perhaps you want to have your own little side hustle, something to keep you going, to keep yourself busy. You could be changing your career as well. It could be really, well, it could be a bit scary because you're moving into the unknown. It is the unknown because we haven't experienced Pluto in Aquarius, well, just a little bit last year, but overall, we haven't experienced this energy in our lifetime. So here, starting something brand new, moving into the complete unknown, it is scary, especially since you are a fixed sign, and fixed signs are resistant to these major shakeups and change. So it's a natural process here, but at the same time, it will be very, very rewarding and empowering. Here, Pluto is connected to that self-empowering energy. Now, at the same time, this could be very much connected to changes connected to your image. Perhaps you are moving into a very different position. And this could also very much influence your home life at the same time as well. Now, Pluto rules over your 7th house in the 10th. For many Taurus, this could be also about changes concerning your contract. So you could be changing jobs, careers, and perhaps you want to study, perhaps you want to go back to university, get a different or a new degree for the upcoming changes. So it doesn't have to be that you just, you suddenly change. This is a slow moving process. And I'm pretty sure you have already started this process last year. And this is an ongoing here journey for you. It's just the beginning. So if you haven't actually really felt it that deeply, just a little bit last year, then here this year, you will definitely start to feel it on a much, much deeper level. All right, so on the 23rd, Venus will move into Capricorn. That's your ninth house. So this is actually a really, really pleasant transit for traveling yet again. This could be about a new connection, a new friendship. This could be about also public speaking, your involvement in publishing. Perhaps you're getting some piece of work out into the world, out on a global scale. This could be connected to launching a new business or launching a course, launching, for example, a shop on Etsy. Here, you're moving into a global scene. You're getting your work, something that you've been doing. It's about the release of this idea, product, whatever it is. But at the same time, Venus in Capricorn can be a little bit old-fashioned as well. So generally, this could be about visiting some old places that have a lot of perhaps history, a lot of meaning in itself as well. So here, yes, sightseeing and museums could be very much emphasized as well. Venus in the 11th house is also connected to perhaps dating people who come from different walks of life, so who come from different countries or cultures to yours. Venus rules over your 6th house. So here for some, this could be very much connected to business travel and conferences. Perhaps you could also participate in a specific event as well. That could be abroad, for instance. Since Venus is your chart ruler here, with Venus, your chart ruler in the 9th house, you will be craving experiences that will generally be of an adventurous, spontaneous nature as well. Now, moving forward on the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo happening at 5 degrees. So a full moon occurs when the sun and the moon meet in the opposing signs. And here, this is a time when things become clear, full awareness, heightened emotions. This full moon is connected to the new moon we had back in 2022, August 2022. So perhaps if you started some new idea, project, relationship, or a job during that time, here during this full moon, this could be like a peak of the story that started during that time. So that's your 4th house more specifically. So perhaps if you moved into a house, a property during that time, then during this full moon, you could be renovating, you could be moving out. There could be some major changes happening during this time as well for you. Now, a full moon in Leo, yes, so full awareness, full clarity. This could be very much connected to renovations without a doubt. But at the same time, here, someone could be moving in, moving out. You could be also upgrading or updating your home environment. This could be also about the situation happening in your family or with a family member. An important conversation could be taking place, an important decision you may have to make as well. Perhaps someone will need your support in your family. Perhaps this could be connected to your parental figures as well. And with full moon here is often connected to us having to deal with a situation that emerges around the full moon. And usually it's a really busy time because during a full moon, the moon is fully visible. So the emotions are also here triggered. And this is when we have to face a certain situation. And that perhaps will show up, will become very clear and visible, noticeable around this time. Now, we end the month with Uranus stationing direct at 19 degrees of Taurus. So here, as of this day until the end of March, all the planets will be moving in a direct motion. So there's this forward momentum taking place, a great time for really achieving a lot, achieving your objectives, and for moving forward with specific goals, ideas you may have. But here, when Uranus is retrograde, here its energies, which can be very erratic, unique, original, and here Uranus is connected to that revolution. Uranus is connected to anything that happens suddenly, unexpectedly, out of the blue. So when Uranus is retrograde, its energies are suppressed during this time. And this can also mean that perhaps it's not always easy to make these sudden decisions and implement these sudden ideas. And when Uranus stations direct, all these urges that you may have had connected to your personal life, to your identity, and to that need to perhaps take care of something that has been really bothering you. Here, these urges may suddenly erupt, and you will feel slightly more rebellious, or perhaps you will have more strength and courage and drive, motivation to face a challenge or a situation that perhaps has been here in your life in the last few months, but you didn't have enough strength to truly face it, to truly resolve it. So here, Uranus brings a little bit of shake-up, a little bit of that eruptive energy, allowing us or helping us, encouraging us to fully take charge of the things that perhaps have been overlooked in the last few months. All right, so here we go, Taurus. Thank you very much. I wish you a pleasant month, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Geminis, and welcome to your January 2024 horoscope. So we start the year with Mercury, your ruler, stationing direct. So this is really, really good news for you because, of course, as your ruler, Mercury, when it's retrograde, it can create a little bit of that introspective energy that prompts towards withdrawal, contemplation. And in order to gain a greater understanding or a deeper understanding of your life, of your purpose, of your life principles. And here with Mercury stationing direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius, here generally there's this forward momentum, and you will regain that clarity that you may have lacked. It will be easier to make decisions, and slowly, that confusion, lack of clarity will dissolve. Just bear in mind that until the 20th of January, Mercury will be still in the post-shadow period. So you might still experience a little bit of that Mercury retrograde theme. But overall, this is also connected to perhaps any misunderstandings that perhaps could have occurred, possibly during the retrograde phase with other people. Here, it will be easier to find that resolution. It will be easier to connect. You might see that some people that disappeared temporarily from your life, they will reappear. All right, so now on the 4th, we've got Mars moving into Capricorn. Mars in Capricorn is exalted, strong, and happy. So Capricorn is your 8th house. Whenever we have transits of Mars in the financial houses, this often indicates expenses. So here it's essential here in January to be mindful. Of course, after the festive season, I'm sure that it will be pretty straightforward for you and to be mindful of your spendings. But at the same time, perhaps if it's not related to outgoings, this could be also connected to perhaps having to deal with your personal tax returns if you haven't yet completed it here in the UK. The deadline is on the 31st of January. Then you will be also doing that. This could be connected to refunds. This could be also about having to generally attend to any financial matters connected to mortgages, loans, and bank statement. So the money here is really emphasized, especially since this is the first month of 2024, straight after the Christmas and festive season. Into the new year, you might want to generally review, reassess where you stand financially. At the same time, here with Mars in the eighth house, this is also connected to perhaps having important conversations with your significant other, connected to finances, to how the money and resources, possessions are shared in your household and managed, the outgoings as well. Right. So, yes. So generally, Mars in Capricorn is determined, traditional, conservative discipline. So there is that discipline here in place as well. And here we've got also, if you've been wanting to break away from some negative cycles, habits, routines with Mars in the eighth house, it is possible to make it happen. Now, so yes, lots of transformative energy here, without a doubt, throughout the month of January. And for perhaps this could be also when you'll have a dry January, or perhaps you'll be implementing some new and healthy changes or some dietary changes, at least for a short phase, perhaps to recharge yourself, or perhaps you want to cleanse your body, and you might want to have a detox. All right, so yes, so basically on the 11th, we've got a new moon in Capricorn at 20 degrees. A new moon in Capricorn, yes. So basically we're starting a brand new cycle here in this area of life. And a new moon occurs when the sun and the moon meet at the same degree in the same sign. So this is the initiation of a new lunar cycle. Some new beginnings here. So, as I said just a moment ago, if you want to break away from a cycle, negative habits, patterns, with this new moon, Mars in your eighth house, Pluto also 29 anaretic degree. It's like a now or never feeling you might experience. So, like, I do it now, or I'm never going to be able to do it. This is also connected to investments, commissions, bonuses as well. So all these finances are emphasized, but at the same time, here, this is also about these deep and profound energies, emotions, feelings. And it's a great time for that liberation as well, for taking these first steps to cleanse yourself, to clear yourself, especially since it's the new year. So you want to start fresh. Right. So yes. So basically, yes. So Pluto will move into Aquarius on the 20th, and it's the second time we are experiencing these energies here. So it's still really, really fresh for you. That's your ninth house, and here it seems like for many Geminis, their outlook on life is changing. Your perspective on life, your life principles as well. So here, the ninth house is connected to our life path, to the energies related in a way to Gemini, because here Gemini likes to be free, likes to also explore different activities, and likes to get involved in all sorts of experiences. And here that Pluto and Aquarius energy will allow you to make it happen. So in the next 20 years, you will go through all sort of experiences, transformative trips and travels that you might go through as well, that will change your outlook on life. So it's not just that you will wake up one day and everything will change. No, this is the experiences that you engage in, and through these experiences, you'll be changing on a deeper level. So here, your life philosophy, your life principles, it's all about here. Your belief system is undergoing a major, major shift, a transformation as well. Perhaps if you've been studying a certain degree, perhaps once you're done with it, you will want to do something completely different, because you will no longer align with what you have been studying up until now, especially if it wasn't really your decision. So I've seen this happen as well for some Geminis who started who have Pluto moving into their Aquarius area, that they suddenly experiencing this major shift, and they want to transform what they do. So if they are students, they actually realizing that what they are studying is not what they actually want to do. If you have a business, then you will be also, perhaps your services might also transform, and you will be offering slightly different to your audience, to your potential target market, for example. So there is this huge shift. I think it's really, really interesting. It's still really, really fresh. And it's generally here fixed energies. And so generally, as per your mutable qualities, to go with the flow and see how it unfolds. Right, so on the 23rd, we've got Venus moving into Capricorn. Here, Venus in Capricorn, that's your 8th house. This is about being devoted. So this could be a very romantic time for many Geminis when you connect with your significant other on a deeper level. And if this connection is not present, then you will have lots of questions and you will be reevaluating perhaps. So yes, soul-like connections here with Venus, deep connections, transformative connections as well. But at the same time, watch out, because Venus in the 8th house on its own brings out this scorpionic energy. So there could be a little bit of jealousy or the domination that could be also taking place. However, at the same time, Venus in Capricorn is practical, devoted, faithful, old-fashioned as well. So it could be a really interesting time for your relationship, intimate life as well. But at the same time, here Venus is here in the 8th house is also connected to financial gains that you might also. So this could be about receiving a gift from someone close to your heart. This could be also about receiving perhaps some support from external forces. So this could be bonuses, commissions, or perhaps some refunds, government schemes. This kind of support could also be at hand. Right, so moving forward, on the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo at 5 degrees. So every full moon connects to a different story. It's not just a random full moon that will produce some sudden results or outcomes. It's connected to the new moon in Leo we had back in August 2022. And Leo, that's your 3rd house. So this, the 3rd house deals with communication, gossip, news. So this could be about actually finding out some gossip. This could be about receiving some important news connected to your work, employment. So generally, whatever it is, this will be very much related to your life story, your life situation, because you might be going through. Well, at the same time, but everything is in the upper part of the chart. So there is a lot of external influence here happening at the moment for you as you start the new year. And a lot of focus upon your career, your relationship, your connections. It's the outside world that is really emphasized here as we start the new year, not your private life. So here, the news that you receive could be connected to something that you've been working on. So yes, work, career could be relevant, or perhaps if you've been working on some business idea, for example, then perhaps this could be about launching a website, launching a marketing plan, a blog. This sort of things are also emphasized because a full moon is about releasing. At the same time here, this could be a theme connected to movement, to your involvement in the community. So perhaps you could be volunteering or doing some charity work, for instance, as well. Or here, this travel movement, or perhaps something to do with your siblings. They might be going through some situations that will require your attention as well. And on the 27th, we've got Uranus stationing direct at 19 degrees of Taurus, and that's your 12th house. So here, Uranus is connected to energies that are related to revolution, eccentric, unique, original energies. When Uranus is retrograde, generally its energies are repressed, so it's difficult to perhaps implement this sudden major changes in our lives, or perhaps that a rebellious energy is not in place. However, when Uranus stations direct, all those urges that have been suppressed in the last few months during the retrograde phase can suddenly erupt. For you, that's your 12th house. And this could be connected to perhaps any negative habits, addictions that you've been trying to break away from. And it was very difficult. Here, perhaps Uranus will shake things up and suddenly make you realize that it's time to put a stop to it and fix whatever needs to be fixed in your personal life. Something that perhaps triggers your mental health, your emotions. At the same time here, this could be also when you have very vivid dreams. So pay attention to your dreams. It could be a message. It could be some important guidance coming through for you as well. And then from the 27th, 28th of the month, January, until the very end of March, all the planets will be moving in a direct motion. So here you can achieve so much. Generally, we collectively can. So take advantage of these energies. Thank you very much. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Cancers, and welcome to your horoscope for January 2024. So here we start the month with Mercury, the planet of communication, rational thinking, social interactions, movement, stationing direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So here, great news, because you may have experienced a certain degree of lack of clarity connected to your employment, connected to your work. Perhaps there have been some chaos as well in your daily life. So here, when the planet stations direct from a retrograde motion, this usually signifies a shift. And as you begin the new year, you start to implement the necessary changes to make your daily life a better experience. So it's all about becoming more organized and to simplify your life as well. Right. So on the 4th, 5th of January, Mars will move into Capricorn. Here, Mars in Capricorn, that's the house opposing your first house. So here, oppositions are about other people. So this transit is generally could bring some lessons connected to how to cooperate harmoniously, how to perhaps find the middle ground with people with whom we disagree, with whom we generally have very different point of view. So this kind of lessons could be very much the case throughout this transit in January. But overall here with Mars, this is generally a transit when you might be also wanting to take action when it comes to some mutual plans, mutual goals you may have with your partner, with your significant other. For those who are single, Mars is connected to that masculine energy. And this could also mean that someone will enter your energy field. With so much happening in your seventh house overall in January, if you are single, this is a good month for getting yourself out there, for dating. Overall, transits in the seventh house stimulate commitment, love, relationship. So all of this is really, really emphasized. So now, yes, so basically Mars in Capricorn is determined. Mars in Capricorn is practical, but also cautious and a little bit conservative as well. So generally, if you really want to get on with a certain perhaps idea we may have with another person, this is also connected to partnerships as well. You can make things happen. So you could be also collaborating with another person if you are a content creator or a digital creator. You could be joining forces with another person. This is also about signing contracts or getting into an agreement with another person. Perhaps you're renting a place or you're hiring a venue. It's all about these one-to-one dealings that you will be going throughout the month of January. All right, so here on the 11th, we've got a new moon in Capricorn happening at 20 degrees. So here, a new moon is about new beginnings, fresh ideas. At this point, it could be a realization when we plant seeds, so to speak, during a new moon, things are not clear yet or fully visible. So there isn't yet an understanding of where is it actually going to take you, whatever that you plan or start. But here, it's all about setting these intentions. Now, here, a new one in Capricorn. So, yes, Capricorn is connected to ambition and also tradition, structure, discipline. So, it's a really great new moon for making important decisions connected to generally following your path. Now, since this is happening in your seventh house, so you could be signing a work contract, a work agreement around this time. Perhaps this could be connected to also to your home, to renting or upgrading or updating your contract. Now, here, yes, this could be very much also about a new connection in your life. A new moon on its own is not enough for a big relationship unless it's already been an ongoing one. But here, this could be very much about someone that you meet around this new moon, a new person, a new connection that could then escalate. This could escalate into something more serious. But overall, here with the seventh house activation, it's about something connected to something new, it's a new beginning. Now, you might also feel like a never now or never feeling. So, if you've been wanting to collaborate with another person, if you've been wanting to join forces and perhaps build a partnership and get involved perhaps in some workshops and or even go on a date, then here this new moon could really, really stimulate that need because you might feel that push and you might feel like, if I don't do it now, maybe I won't have an opportunity again. So that's Pluto at an analytic degree during this new moon. Now on the 20th, Pluto will move into Aquarius, into your 8th house. So as Pluto moves into your 8th house of Aquarius, Pluto in the 8th house generally, this is about that intense and transformative energy present in the area of that is traditionally connected to Scorpio. So deep and profound energies, emotions, feelings. So there is this massive, massive transformation that could potentially take place on a really deep scale. It's about the exploration of the self on a deeper, deeper level. This is about a greater understanding of life, but also life after death. So you might become really, really interested in science, in metaphysics. So yes, at the same time, this is also a time when you will generally you will transform on a deeper level, but this is also about healing some really deeply rooted feelings, emotions from the past. Here, generally, the 8th house is the house of death and rebirth, regeneration. So here with Pluto, the planet of intensity and transformation here, this is an opportunity for really, really implementing these transformative changes that could help you to also liberate yourself from heaviness that perhaps life could have brought onto you in the last few decades. Now, at the same time here, transformation may occur when it comes to connections in your life, those deep connections, perhaps your attitude towards love, affection, and intimate matters could also change. You might be seeing things from a very different light as well. Now, Pluto in the 8th house wants to really gain a deep understanding of many aspects of life, but on a very deep scale. So here, that energy of healing and regeneration is truly activated. And with the 8th house, it's basically about this major transformation that you may go through that could make you a very different person. So you could be really changing your direction in your life, changing your path, especially that simultaneously as Pluto establishes itself here in Aquarius in 2024, and then in 2025, moving forward, we are going to have the eclipses here activating Aries, your 4th and the 10th house, especially in this year, 2024, and in the first quarter of 2025. And here you've got the activation of these very sensitive areas of life. The home, the career, outside public world is really strongly emphasized. And as I mentioned earlier already, in the previous videos, this could very much mean changes concerning your home, relocation, perhaps moving in with your partner or moving out from your partner's life, starting a fresh start on your own. But at the same time, career is really emphasized. Either you will be establishing yourself fully in your existing career, or perhaps if you want to have your own business or change your workplace. It's all possible this year with so much happening in these areas of life. At the same time, Pluto in Aquarius in your 8th house is prompting you to really transform and regenerate the energies that has already fulfilled its purpose. And here it's all about bringing spark into your life and that self-empowering energy. Now, on the 23rd, Venus will move into Capricorn, and that's, of course, your 8th house, 7th house. Venus in Capricorn is really, really great for dating, for love, affection, relationships, commitments, partnerships. Here, you make a really good impression on others, and it's all about generally connecting with others in a really harmonious and loving way. But if you are single with so much happening in Capricorn in January, this is a time to really step up your game. Here, cardinal energy is all about taking action. So dating is definitely here a good time for dating here as we here go through January, but also the first week of February, when Venus will still remain in your 7th house. So here, love affection is really strongly emphasized. Venus in Capricorn overall can be more practical, old-fashioned, and devoted, faithful. So with that in mind, if you were to establish or start a new relationship during Venus in Capricorn, there is a potential for it to be long-lasting, because Capricorn is about stability, structure, consistency. Right. So, yes, if you are already in a commitment, in a solid commitment, Venus will bring more spark, loving energy, and ability to connect in a more harmonious way. Now, on the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo happening at 5 degrees, and Leo, that's your 2nd house. A full moon in Leo here on the 25th is connected to the new moon we had back in 2022 in August, a new moon in Leo, and this full moon could bring a situation that has already started during that time into light. A full moon is about releasing, so you could be also selling items on in Vinted or eBay, or perhaps donating them to charities. You could be decluttering, and this could be also about making some purchases. You could be finally able to buy an object that you've been saving up for. It's very possible here with that full moon in Leo. But at the same time here, this is also connected to your income. So your income situation, that financial security and stability is really emphasized if there is some kind of instability. Because with Leo, you want to be proud of what you own. And if things are slightly out of balance, then perhaps this full moon in Leo will make it more noticeable, and you will want to take charge of any financial matters that perhaps have been overlooked. The moon is fully visible in the sky during a full moon. So things are generally, emotions are heightened. There's a greater or fuller awareness of what we are actually dealing with. So that generally here, finances are really strongly emphasized. And now, if you have your own business, for example, this could be also about releasing a new product, a new service as well. Now, on the 27th, we've got Uranus stationing direct in Taurus at 19 degrees. So happy days, because from that moment in time until the very end of March, all the planets in the sky will be moving in a direct motion. So this is really a fantastic time, February, March, to launch new projects, for look for a job, for moving forward with your goals, objectives, for reaching generally your purpose. Because the planets are moving in a forward motion, things are achieved with more ease. Now here, Uranus. So yes, Uranus is connected to the energy related to revolution, sudden, unexpected events, situations, unique, eccentric, original energy. So here, all those urges, desires, hopes that have been suppressed during the last few months while here Uranus was retrograde, especially since Uranus is here now in your area of friendships, hopes and wishes, long-term plans and goals. Here, around the 27th of January, generally here, all these urges that you've had, or some of them, desires to perhaps reach some of your plans or have this important conversation with your friend, or perhaps to perhaps if you wanted to move away from some people in your life, it was difficult, then here Uranus will shake things up and give you the inner strength to finally take charge of this area of life. And perhaps this could be about some, an energetical eruption and a little shake-up in the area of friendships, groups. Perhaps you will be leaving a group or finally joining a group. And or perhaps it could be something to do with your friendships as well. Letting go, releasing is also emphasized here. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Cancers, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Leos, and welcome to your horoscope for January 2024. So we start the new year with Mercury stationing direct in the sign of Sagittarius at 22 degrees. So here, Sagittarius, this is your fifth house. Now, Mercury regaining its strength, because remember the most important moments in the retrograde phase, it's when the planet stations retrograde, which is a time of weakness, because things slow down. And we can especially feel these triggers or miscommunication, delays, and all sort of electronic issues that could be taking place around these early days of the retrograde. Now, when Mercury stations direct, suddenly there's this forward momentum and you will regain that clarity that perhaps you may have lacked, or perhaps if you had some new ideas connected to your creative self-expression, romantic side of life, your parenting style, for example, anything to do with work and employment will also be here highlighted. So generally January will be a time for you to implement new ideas, goals for the upcoming months. So here you want to simplify your life. You want to generally make concrete and long-lasting plans, especially here with that emphasis in your sixth house, because we are still in Capricorn season in the first 3 weeks of January. And this will be a very busy month for you because the sixth house is connected to hard work. But at the same time, this is when it's generally a time of movement, action, things happening. And here on the 4th, we've got Mars moving into Capricorn. And on the 11th, we've got a new moon. So lots of different energies. At the same time, remember that Pluto is about to move into Aquarius. So there is this feeling of now or never that an erratic degree often is connected to risk taking. And here, if you've been wanting to implement some changes in your daily life, daily routine, responsibilities, if things haven't been working at work, if you've been wanting to change your job, start looking for something else, then it may very well happen in January because Mars is connected to that physical energy. And Mars in Capricorn is exalted, very, very strong, determined. So if you want to set some goals connected to that, lifestyle changes, dietary changes, work-related changes, for example, then here you may very well do that in the first 3 weeks of January, especially since you also have Jupiter in your 10th house with Uranus. Jupiter is now in a direct motion since the 30th, 31st of December. So there's a strong emphasis upon your work, life direction, employment. And it's a really, really good time for implementing healthy adjustments, changes that will make your work life a much better experience, because sometimes we dedicate our energy to the wrong area of life where there is nothing happening, instead of concentrating on where the energies are activated. And for you, more specifically, that's your everyday life, work, employment, but also career direction. Lots of energy. And now Jupiter is in a direct motion until middle of May. So you will see things really taking a very different turn for you. So you can really achieve a lot as long as you take the initiative, as long as you take action. Right, so we've got Mars here from the 4th. Mars in the 6th house indicates that you will have a lot of physical energy. to deal with work and everyday related responsibilities, tasks. Here with Mars, it's essential to also implement a little bit of exercise into your daily life, because it could be that you'll be very busy at your work, and especially if your work is connected to rather like a sitting position, then it's essential that you also make sure that you get some fresh air exercise. We don't have much air energy in January, only in the second part of January. But here, as we begin the new year, we still have mostly that earthy, lots of grounding energy, fire and water. So make sure that you also get some fresh air, especially if you lack air element in your chart. You will have to spend some time in nature and get yourself out there to make sure you can think clearly. But at the same time, you could be dealing with medical checkups, medical appointments, blood tests. This is also very much here emphasized. Interviews and business work related matters are really, really here highlighted. Now, on the 11th of January, there is a new moon in Capricorn happening at 20 degrees. So a new moon happens when the sun and the moon meet at the same degree in the same sign. This is the beginning of a new lunar cycle here. So perhaps this is about a new routine. This is about perhaps you might be going on a detox, or you might want to try a very different diet. Generally, it's all about also cleansing your body. Perhaps after the festive season, you feel stuffed, you feel slightly unhealthy, maybe even for some. This could be if you are overindulging during Christmas or during the festive season, during holiday season. Then here, this new one could prompt you to perhaps go on a detox or cleanse your body, and perhaps change your diet, at least temporarily. At the same time, for others, this could be about joining a new business, a new workspace. This is very much connected to that as well. Here, changes in generally could be also taking place in your work environment. So perhaps this is about your office space being refurnished, or perhaps this could be also connected to generally changes related to these daily activities. Lifestyle changes are also highlighted. So overall here, work is very much emphasized, because you could be starting a new job. You could be hiring someone new to your business, perhaps a nanny or a housekeeper, someone or a PA. This could be very much the case as well. But at the same time here, this is also connected to these lifestyle changes. Here, Pluto is about to move into Aquarius at that 29 analytic degree. You might feel like you need to do it now or never. This could be this there could be this now or never feeling that you might be experiencing at this time as well. On the 20th, Pluto will enter Aquarius, and that's your seventh house. So lots of here these important changes in the area of one-to-one relationships. Your approach to love, your approach to one-to-one connections is undergoing a major shift. So of course, this will mean a very different thing for different people, but this could be very well about someone very new entering your life, a new partner who will completely transform your life. So this could be about meeting the one, and with whom you could create that solid grounding foundation, home foundation. Now, at the same time, you will be attracting people throughout this transit who will have a very deep and transformative effect upon your life. Having said that, here, pay attention, because these energies also attract people with whom you could potentially have some power struggles, because they might want to overpower you or dominate you. So this sort of dynamics could also be the case. It's all about being aware of these urges, because these kind of individuals will bring out very different characteristics of your personality. Because at the same time, let's not forget the transits in the seventh house. They teach us a lot about ourselves, but we learn about these qualities through interactions with others. These interactions are not always positive or flourishing, but here the challenging ones make us perhaps go through some deep, deep self discovery, self-realization. So this is like a very this transit has got so many different meanings, because this could be about getting married and engaged and meeting that interesting individual who will change your life path. At the same time, you could be entering a business partnership. This could be about starting something really meaningful, transformative, and in your life. As I said, your approach to love, relationship, partnerships is also going to undergo a major shift. So think about what happened last year between March and between like the second and the third quarter of 2023. Because during that time, we were dealing with these energies, and we had a little taste, a little flavor. So this year, Pluto is establishing itself more permanently here in this sign. Now, on the 23rd, Venus will enter Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn is devoted, a little bit reserved, old-fashioned, but also faithful and traditional. So here, Capricorn, that's your sixth house. So here, on the one hand, with Venus in the sixth house, this could be about perhaps some romantic, connections with someone from your work or co-worker. Venus in the sixth house might make you crave more sugary things, sweet things. Overall, with Venus in the sixth house, we need more pleasure in our daily life. We need more entertainment, but perhaps in a more traditional, mature, old-fashioned, practical way. It doesn't have to be crazy, or it doesn't have to be like full of fireworks, but it's you crave a little bit of that creativity and a little bit of fun. This could be about some work functions, some perhaps work-related parties with people from your work. But here with Venus, it's generally here definitely very often connected to here sugar cravings, overindulgence as well, especially Venus connects by a square to one of your natal placements, especially here, the personal planets, you might be going through these sugar cravings during this time. But overall, here it's all about finding a balance and harmony in your daily life. If there is something that is out of balance, Venus will make it very visible. All right, so on the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo in your first house, 5 degrees. And full moon happens when the moon and the sun are in opposition. So at that point, the sun will be in the seventh house of Aquarius, and we will have the moon in your first house, the full moon. Now, this full moon is connected to a much larger story. It's not just some random full moon that occurs here at the end of January. It connects to a story that started in August 2022. And here, 18 months later, we've got further development of that story theme. So you might see that people, situations, energies that were present in August 2022 are also present and become alive in January 2024. Now, here, this is all about you. The moon is fully visible during the full moon lunar phase. Of course, our emotions are heightened. Our feelings are intensified. And at that point, Pluto will be at 0 degrees of Aquarius as well. So there is that opposition here going on as well. Positions are about other people. So this could be about some situation with someone trying to oppose your ideas, stand in the way towards some growth, personal growth, and make you think about the next step you want to take. This could be someone from your work. This could be your partner or friend. And overall, this full moon brings a situation that has already been going on for quite some time into light. And very often with full moon, we need to decide which way we want to go. We want to move forward, we want to stop it, we want to drop it. At the same time, your physical appearances comes into light. You might be thinking about your age, you might be thinking about your style. Overall, it's all about your goals, and it's about also having these strong realizations about the self, about your identity as well. All right, so on the 27th, Uranus will station direct in Taurus at 19 degrees. And here, Taurus, that's your 10th house. So from that moment until the 31st of March, all the planets in the sky will be moving in a direct motion. So this is fantastic because this is a time, generally February, March, to really achieve or see some substantial outcomes and results from your efforts, especially since we will be going through the eclipses as well. The Libra eclipse will be definitely during that time. And then we will have an Aries eclipse in April. So it will be a very vivid time without a doubt. But Uranus stationing direct, basically all those urges that have been suppressed, so urges, desires connected to your career, connected to your ambitions, success you want to achieve in your life. So if these urges that you've had were suppressed, repressed during Uranus retrograde phase, they might suddenly erupt, and you might find the inner lion literally inside of you and take action and face the people, the challenges that perhaps you were not able to face last year with more eagerness, with more courage. All right, so here we go, Leos. Thank you very much. I wish you a pleasant month, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Virgos, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming month, January 2024. So we start the month with your ruler, Mercury, stationing direct in Sagittarius at 22 degrees. This is really great news because it's happening on that very first day of January of the new year, a wonderful time for implementing or for starting to implement positive changes, healthy changes into your life. So here, I'm always excited about the new year because it offers really great opportunities for change, but also for a better start, especially if 2023 brought challenges with that Saturn in your seventh house. And usually when a planet is in the early phase of its transit in a new sign, this is usually the most challenging time because this planet is establishing itself. So here, this year offers fresh energies, new opportunities, and Mercury stationing direct will bring more clarity, more awareness. At the same time, will stimulate you. It will stimulate you to implement healthy changes into your life, especially since this is your chart ruler, your career ruler. So a great time for also setting these new goals or implementing new ideas into your life to reach these goals, especially since towards the end of January, Uranus will station direct, and then February, March, all the planets will be moving in direct motion. So you can really achieve a lot as long as you put enough effort, as long as you put enough energy. All right, so here and overall Sagittarius at your fourth house, so you will see a shift of energy happening in your family and home, domestic life related dynamics. If you have been reevaluating your home situation in December, and perhaps the romantic side of your life, your relationship with your children, here from January, you will have a better idea which direction you want to take, what ideas you want to implement, what needs to change in order to find more comfort at your home, or perhaps what you can do to manage your household duties in a more effective way. The same with children romance as well. All right, so on the 4th, Mars will enter Capricorn, and this is actually fantastic because Mars in Capricorn feels great. It's sign of exaltation. So very, very strong. Mars in Capricorn, if this is your natal placement, then you are very lucky because this indicates strong ambition, especially here if Mars is placed also or makes positive aspects to your natal planets or your ascendant. But overall, Mars in Capricorn feels really, really great. And Mars in Capricorn in your 5th house, this is generally connected to, first of all, this will be a busy month with your children activities. They might be having lots of either, birthday parties to attend or assignments at their school. So overall, your involvement in their life will increase due to their activities, clubs, or perhaps some school-related responsibilities. But at the same time, with Mars in the 5th house, this is the house of romance. And I don't talk much about romance. Actually, I've got Saturn transiting my fifth house, so not the most romantic couple of years for me. But I understand that people actually want to hear about romance. And Mars here, it's connected to passion, affection, desire, sexual energy as well. So with Mars in the fifth house, where it is exalted here, this indicates dedication. This indicates also self-discipline, but at the same time, this could be very much connected to that increase in passion, desire as well. Now, at the same time here, we've got also creative self-expression. It's a really good transit also for working on your business. If you have your own business, if you're self-employed, Mars will really, really stimulate you, encourage you, and this your dedication generally will increase, especially since Mars will connect harmoniously with your Virgo ascendant. Right. So, and also it will connect harmoniously with Saturn, and all these connections with Saturn in a positive way, they help us to create something that will have a long-lasting effect. Now, on the 11th, we've got a new moon in Capricorn happening at 20 degrees. And here, Capricorn is connected to structure, discipline, order, tradition. And a new moon is about new beginnings, a fresh start, an opportunity for implementing something new and fresh into our life, a new lunar cycle here. That's your fifth house. So yes, it could be about a romance in your life, about um, a date. The dating, romance is here definitely emphasized. But I think here with that Capricorn energy, you want something, and Saturn in your seventh house, you want something serious and concrete. It's not about just some light, meaningless dating. Here, Saturn in the seventh house. And that Capricorn in the fifth house, you want meaningful connections. You want long-lasting partners, or partners with whom you can actually create something potentially long-lasting, concrete. And it's all about taking this serious approach to love and romance. Right. So here, this is about generally also seeking more fun, spark, entertainment in your life. A new moon here is also connected to conception, having conversation about family planning, children. It could be about also, you could be thinking about working with children, setting a business connected to perhaps looking after children, working with them, or young people. Now, at the same time, also, this is connected to a new business idea, taking your business perhaps to the next level if you already have a business, new hobbies and interests. So you're looking for a little bit of spark here with these energies in the fifth house as you begin the new year. All right, so on the 20th, by the way, at this point also, Pluto will be at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So there is this now or never feeling, perhaps a little bit of risk-taking energy or impatience could be in the air as well. Now on the 20th, Pluto enters Aquarius. And here, it's not the final, it's not a final exit from Capricorn because Pluto will still go back. But overall, in 2024, Pluto is establishing itself pretty much permanently for the next 20 years in the sign of Aquarius. So here, towards the second part of the month, we will have that air energy being really emphasized. I think it's really, really good because with lack of air, that rational mind, rational thinking, especially for those who lack air energy in their chart, it's difficult to think clearly or make concrete decisions. So our judgment isn't always fully activated with complete lack of air here in the air. And then if you also have that in your chart, then here towards the second part of the month, you will see that it will be easier to think and make these concrete decisions. All right. So yes, Pluto in Aquarius, that's your sixth house. A big transformation here connected to your lifestyle. And you may have already felt that last year when Pluto visited Aquarius for a few months. So here, lifestyle changes, dietary changes, work and employment. Perhaps you are moving to a different career. Uranus is approaching your 10th house, and it will make its appearance in Gemini in 2025 already. So for many Virgo rising individuals, this is about journey seeking career that's more independent and where you can be more free or feel free. It's not about that 9 to 5, even though you've got Aquarius on the sixth house, so you enjoy that flexibility anyway in your daily life. It's not about that rigid, strict routine because you'll feel caged otherwise. So Pluto is here to bring transformation. So if you've been feeling caged and you didn't feel it, you didn't see a way out, Pluto is coming here to change everything. And yeah, so basically, as I said, lifestyle changes, career changes, or perhaps a side hustle, a side business, your approach to eating and diet could also undergo a major change. So this could be about becoming vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, or generally it could be about reducing certain foods from your diet, like carbs or sugar, for instance. And yes, so generally a different approach to life might undergo this major shift with this transit. All right, so on the 23rd, Venus will enter Capricorn, and Venus in Capricorn is devoted, old-fashioned, shy, practical, faithful. Venus is joining here Mars as well, with Venus and Mars in the same sign. This is a really great because this yet again gives you this boost towards the romantic side of your life. And even though there is that practical, realistic energy, but at the same time, Venus brings harmony and balance and that boost of romance as well. Now, at the same time with Venus here, you will be craving a little bit of fun entertainment in your life. It's a very creative transit as well. So here, this is also a good transit for being creative, for working on Canva, on some specific projects, because Venus will give you a boost of inspiration, but also this is about being practical, but here devoted, dedicated to your work, to whatever that you do. This Venus transit in your fifth house also brings more loving and easier, smoother energy when it comes to connecting with your children, for example. Now, Venus in Capricorn connects very well with your Virgo ascendant as well. So this is actually also very good because here again, this could be, it's like a feeling good within your skin, so to speak. On the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo at 5 degrees. A full moon happens when the sun and the moon are in the opposition. The moon is fully visible in the sky, so the emotions are heightened. The emotions are much stronger, but at the same time, there's a strong and full awareness of what is actually going on. So here, Leo, this is your 12th house. Now, this is connected to some endings because this is a 12th house. You're finishing a 12-month cycle of this full moon. At the same time, this full moon is connected to the new moon we had back in August, around August 2022. And here, 19 months later, there's a full moon. So the story that began around 18 to 19 months ago is coming to light. People, energies, situations that were present in that period of time could be here, who could become, well, situations, energies could become alive. These people could be also present in during this full moon in your life as well. Now, a full moon in the 12th house brings a lot of strong realizations about life that perhaps were overlooked, were forgotten, were brushed under the carpet, so to speak. It's a 12th house, and the full moon brings a lot of light into this area of life. So, what have you overlooked in the past? What perhaps relationships, situations, circumstances that occurred. You might be seeing them. So the situations, circumstances that you've been dealing with recently, you might see them from a different light. You might actually understand that they were valuable lessons for you towards personal growth, personal development. At the same time, this is also about self-discovery, self-help, and healing. If you've been struggling recently, anxiety, or if it was difficult to sleep, it could be still difficult to sleep around this time. But at this point, you might be actually researching and seeking perhaps answers to your problems which are not actually visible, but you know about them because it's you who can feel this way, for example. So it's not visible to the other people, but then whatever that you have been experiencing internally might be now more visible to you, but at the same time, you might want to seek answers, you might want to heal as well. All right, so the final event of January that I want to discuss is a Uranus stationing direct at 19 degrees of Taurus. So here Taurus is connected to energy, that earth energy that is very grounding and stable, and that doesn't like changes. And ironically, Uranus is all about change and revolution. So generally here, that's your ninth house connected to freedom, independence, your life purpose, life path, travel, higher education. So all these urges that you may have been experiencing recently connected to perhaps wanting to be free, wanting to free yourself from certain obligations, certain heavy energies, people, things that generally stand in the way towards your happiness. So if you've been feeling this internal urge to liberate yourself from these negative energies, influences, people, now, generally, when Uranus stations direct, you might suddenly erupt, metaphorically speaking. So you might find this inner strength to generally take action and do something about that, to face the difficult feelings, energies, connections, and perhaps free yourself from some of them. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Virgos. I wish you a pleasant month, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Libras, and welcome to your horoscope for January 2024. So we start the year with Mercury stationing direct. So here, the planet of communication, transportation, rational thinking, our mind, stationing direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So here, this retrograde may have affected that ability to communicate effectively, or perhaps your judgment was clouded temporarily, or there was a certain degree of confusion, lack of clarity regarding a certain relationship situation in your life. Now, as we begin the year, these energies will suddenly slow down, and you will regain the clarity that you may have lacked. And perhaps it will be also when you'll be implementing some new ideas, making important decisions that have been on your mind throughout the retrograde phase. At the same time, there is a strong focus, emphasis this month, especially the first 3 weeks, upon your area of your home, domestic life, family foundations. So there's a lot of here energetical push in this area of life. We've got Mars moving here on the 4th. Mars in Capricorn is exalted, very strong, determined. So it's a really great time for dealing with home-related matters, renovations, refurnishments. But at the same time here, this could see you also going through a major clear out. It could be decluttering, or you might have this strong need to really to repaint your walls. So here Mars is connected to that physical energy. At the same time, Mars in the 4th house could also bring out some or bring up some issues related to the family dynamics that perhaps came up during the retrograde phase. Sometimes Mars in the 4th is like create situations at home, and it feels like a battlefield at times. So it's all about perhaps if you feel restless, or if you feel like you're about to explode, try to dedicate the access of that energy on doing something productive, on doing something physical, for example. So here, home improvements and even exercising at your home could be very here prominent. Now on the 11th, we've got a new moon in Capricorn happening at 20 degrees. So a new moon happens when the sun and the moon meet at the same degree in the same sign. This is the beginning of a new lunar cycle. So it's all about new beginnings, fresh ideas, and connected to your home. Now, this transit, this event, this lunation, along with Mars here, could see you also having some family celebrations at your home, family members visiting you. This could be very much the case here as well. But at the same time, here with a new moon, it's about some new beginnings. So yes, perhaps this could be about an upcoming move, relocation, renovations. Here again are highlighted, especially since Mars is here. But at the same time, this could be also about some new beginnings. Perhaps you will be welcoming a new member of family. So this could be about either yourself or someone in your family giving birth, having a baby. So this family addition could be also in place. And of course, here, generally a new moon could be just about some realizations at this point. The moon is dark, so you might not have a full or clear idea of what is it that you want. But at the same time, Pluto is about to move into the fifth house, into Aquarius on the 20th. And it's, at this point, it's at 29 degrees, an erratic degree of Capricorn. So there is this feeling of urgency, now or never feeling, impatience, or perhaps your need to implement this new idea, goal, and to connect it to your home domestic life. Quite impatiently, quite urgently, because you might feel like if I don't do it now, it might not. I might not have an energy or opportunity to do it again. Now, on the 20th, Pluto will move into Aquarius, and it's not the final exit from a Capricorn. Pluto will still return into Capricorn in the second part of 2024. At this point, it is moving into Aquarius, and it will begin to establish itself more permanently in 2024. Without a doubt, it's a long transit, 20 years more or less. And this is your fifth house. So there are some major changes concerning that romantic side of life, especially since you've got also the nodes and the eclipses triggering the first and the seventh house here. So many Libras will be going through relationship changes. This could be about an end to a relationship, start of a relationship, marriage, engagement, partnership, collaborations, contracts, very much emphasized, definitely. But also Pluto in Aquarius in the fifth house could be connected to some major transformative changes happening in your children's lives as well. So perhaps they could be getting married, having a child. They could be starting university or perhaps changing their course at their university because there could be a sense of crisis going on as well. And they might be rebelling. And you will have to perhaps step in and redirect them, especially if they are not on the right track. Now, the same time with Pluto moving into your fifth house, this is also about your changes concerning your mindset, attitude towards fun, entertainment, pleasure. So perhaps what has brought you pleasure up until now might no longer be the case in this new era, in this upcoming future. It's all about changes also related to your hobbies, your interests. It's also connected to what brings you pleasure and what doesn't. Your approach to love and romance could also undergo a major shift, especially since you've got these eclipses here, as I mentioned earlier. And for many Libras, this is about healing from past relationships as well, since Chiron is here and the eclipses and the North Node in your seventh house. So you could be also letting go of some emotional difficulties that you experience in your relationships, ex-relationships, in your love life. And now with Pluto moving to your fifth house, it's a fresh start. It's about a different approach towards love and romance, for example. Now, at the same time, this could be very much also about having a child, conceiving, especially if this is something that you've been wanting for many, many years, because Pluto brings this massive, intense transformation here. Now, on the 23rd, Venus will move into Capricorn, and here Venus in Capricorn brings that devotion, faithfulness, practicality, maturity, patience, responsibility as well. So very often with Venus in the fourth house, we have this inner urge to beautify our home, to find more comfort, more balance, more harmony. So you might find yourself buying objects of value, of beauty to your home, flowers, paintings, tablecloths, for example. Now, with Venus here also, this could be about beautifying your home literally. So perhaps it could be painting walls, and refreshing your home. This is also connected to having visitors. Female Venus is connected to feminine energy, so this could be about having some feminine visitors, relatives visiting you. And yes, it's all about finding that harmony, balance, but maybe in a more practical way. Right. So on the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo happening at 5 degrees. A full moon occurs when the sun and the moon are in opposition. So the moon is fully visible, fully illuminated in the sky. Our emotions are heightened, and so are the feelings. And this full moon is connected to the new moon we had back in August 2022. So that was the beginning of this lunar cycle. And then every 9 months, this lunar cycle is triggered, activated. This is especially relevant if you have any placements at around 5 degrees of Leo or one of the fixed signs, so Taurus, Aquarius, or Scorpio, because then you'll be under a greater influence of this lunar cycle. A full moon here brings or turns your attention onto your friendships, groups you belong to. And this could be about finding out some information about a friend. This could be about a friend moving away from your life, even. This could be also about having some intense conversation with another person. And this could be through your involvement in a certain group, in a certain group activity, or perhaps a workshop. Pluto's oppositions bring that overpowering dominant energy, especially these oppositions are connected often to other people and perhaps trying to overpower us. Or perhaps this could be about your child trying to overpower you, dominate you, or create a difficult situation that perhaps will push you to redefine some of your goals, dreams, hopes, desires, or even delay them. If you've been kind of planning to travel or planning to achieve a specific goal, objective in the near future, perhaps a situation that occurs around this full moon may prompt you to delay your plan a little bit into the future, for instance. But this is very much connected to groups as well. It could be leaving or joining a group if this is what you've been actually thinking about doing as well. And this increased involvement, participation in groups is very much highlighted here with this 11th house full moon. Now, on the 27th, we've got a Uranus stationing direct in Taurus. And here, Uranus is connected to that eccentric and unique original energy. And here with Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house, the connected transformation, deep transformative energies, but also joint and shared finances, intimate matters, and investments, loans, mortgages. So here, Uranus is connected also to technology, media, and any urges that you experienced in the last few months, perhaps to implement some transformative changes into your life. And perhaps if you didn't have the inner power to make it happen, Uranus stationing direct can really prompt you to generally face any difficulties that stand in the way or stood in the way towards you implementing these major changes in your life. There's these transformative, intense changes. So generally any urges, desires here that have been suppressed during the retrograde phase can suddenly erupt with Uranus stationing direct. And having said that, from that moment in time until the end of March, all planets will be moving in a direct motion. This is a fantastic time for really reaching your objectives, reaching your goals, at least those that are realistic. Because there is this forward momentum here when all the planets are moving in a forward motion. And we will have an eclipse in the Libra during this time as well in your 1st house. So this will be a very vivid time for you. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Libras. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Scorpios, and welcome to your January 2024 horoscope. So we start with Mercury, the planet of communication, rational thinking, movement. is going to be stationing direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. This is your second house. So here, the area of financial security, stability, our income. This is the area that is connected to our income capabilities, abilities, potentials, as well as our self-worth, self-esteem. Now, Mercury retrograde can slow things down. And overall, it can also create that lack of clarity, mental confusion. Now, Mercury is direct. This generally is a good thing, positive thing, because when a planet stations direct from a retrograde motion, it regains strength. So here if you made lots of different purchases during the retrograde phase, you might actually decide that some of these purchases are not needed, and you might want to return the items that are unused and that you have the receipts for. So this could be about returning some items. This could be about implementing healthy and positive changes into how you manage your finances. And it's all about generally that effective management of your finances here, especially since this is the beginning of the year. So you might feel really stimulated to move away from any negative habits that generally block that ability for financial growth and development. At the same time, this is also about implementing perhaps new ideas to your business, new products, new services, and overall here, since this is also the area of our skills, our talents, perhaps if you think that you lack some skills, then Mercury retrograde, especially if the skills that you need for your work, for your career, for your business growth, then here Mercury direct will make it apparent and will prompt you or stimulate you, encourage you, motivate you to study, to overcome this issue, to overcome this challenge, to feel more fulfilled in this area of life. So it's all about that increased self-esteem at the same time as well. Now, on the 4th, Mars will move into Capricorn. So generally, it's a very busy month here in the Capricorn area. The 3rd house, communication, movement, siblings, relatives, anything to do with working with your hands, since the 3rd house has that traditional and natural connection to Gemini. Right. So overall here, the first 3 weeks of January, it looks like there will be a lot of communication, movement, travel as well. And here, if you're going to be traveling with Mars, your ruler, in the 3rd, make sure that you don't speed, that you're aware of your speed overall. Make sure that you are aware or generally that you're present when working with sharp objects. Mars connected to sharp objects. The 3rd house deals with working with our hands. And this is just another thing. Now, on a different level, you might feel really stimulated to generally to study. It's all about something like short courses, nothing huge like a degree, but rather something like a short course, something that is connected to your skills. And especially since there will be a new moon on the 11th, that is all about these new beginnings. But overall here, traveling and movement, and perhaps you'll be setting or working on a website, on a new business or a business idea, side hustle. This could be also about having family gatherings as well. But overall here, lots of mental activity, communication. I think it could be busy on social media, and overall lots of emails, phone calls, texts. I think it will be quite busy. I'm really curious because obviously I'm also a Scorpio rising, but I like action. I'm action oriented, so it's I think it's gonna be fun. Yeah. So on the 11th, we've got a new moon in Capricorn at 20 degrees, and a new moon in Capricorn at 20 degrees of Capricorn. So here, the 3rd decan of Capricorn is ruled by Virgo. So there's a little bit of that perfectionism here in the air, a little bit of that neatness and consistency, being organized, practical, realistic as well. A new moon here could be very much connected to a new beginning that might not be fully clear or understandable at that point. The moon is dark, it's a new cycle, you're planting seeds. Perhaps you're not fully yet aware of which direction this idea will take you, but you're just going for it. Now, the feeling of urgency is emphasized because Pluto is at an erratic 29 degree. And often the 29 degree makes us more impatient, but also it's connected to risk taking as well. So you might feel like, okay, I'm doing it. Is it now or never feeling? So here again, travel, movement, new website. Perhaps you could be writing a book or an ebook, or planning to create a course of study. This could be about some new beginnings in your siblings or cousins' life. Perhaps there could be having a baby or moving, relocating. But overall, here with this new moon, it's also about some new beginnings in your community. So perhaps there could be a new shopping center, a new supermarket, or new roadworks taking place here in your community. Well, the third house new moon is very often connected also to social media. So this could be about a new social media account that you could be setting up. But it's all about these social interactions and exchange of information. Now, here on the 20th, Pluto will move into Aquarius yet again. So this isn't the end of the story, of course, because Pluto will return back into Capricorn in the second part of 2024, and then it will come back to Aquarius. So there is still this shift. Many Scorpios have been, will be relocating. There's this major, major change in that sensitive area of life, which is home, family, foundations, domestic life as well. So at this point, this could be an idea, a push, an internal stimulations, a goal, because you could be working in the next couple of years really constructively with a lot of dedication towards that goal that you've been wanting to achieve, which is perhaps getting your home. Or moving into a larger home. Here, the North Node is in your sixth house, along with the eclipses triggering this area of life for another year and a little bit. So for some Scorpios, this is just this internal push into something that will or yet to occur here connected to move relocation. So imagine, I like to compare it to a plant. So we pull a plant with its roots from one place, and then we plant it in a different soil. It takes time for the plant to adjust to the new soil, for the roots to settle. So even though on the outside everything is still pretty good, on the inside, the part that's not visible, things are fragile and need time. So if you are going through a major change in your life, in your home life, then it will take some time until you are fully settled, until you are fully content and satisfied. Or even if you are satisfied, it still takes time to get used to the new. But here, for me personally, I'm still going to be moving because things didn't work out. I'm not actually where I'm supposed to be just yet. The city, yes, but not the home. So Pluto is still triggering this area. And this could be also that for you, it's still yet to happen, yet to occur. It's not the end of the story. So there is this major shift, but also at the same time, it's all about that transformation of the emotions, of the feelings as well. So here, it's all about leaving all the heavy feelings, or at least some of them, behind, putting them to rest. It's about acceptance as well of the past. It's about taking with us, the valuable lessons, and perhaps leaving the negativity behind. Right, so I'm not going to go too deep into this. I would like to make a separate video about this transit yet again, but hopefully I will have some time in January. But here, moving forward on the 23rd, Venus will move into Capricorn, where it is devoted, reserved, practical, old-fashioned. That's your third house. This is actually positive because this transit connects by a sextile with your ascendant. This means that you will also get this positive vibe and boost that comes with Venus charm and positive energy, hope, optimism. Now, Venus in the third house, first of all, is great for doing things connected to creativity or writing, and you might even feel like you sound better. Venus in the third house gives a beautiful voice, very often charming voice. It can be also very flirtatious as well. Really fun transit, and you might also have this need to visit local places, places of value, places of beauty. And the third house is connected to also generally having being very inspired when creating written assignments, work, written work, working on Canva. But here again, the third house of Venus is also connected to perhaps a little bit of that romantic energy in the air, especially here when connecting with people, or romantic or pleasant, charming when connecting with people from your immediate environment. So you might have some really, it could be a really vivid time. Social interactions are highlighted. And overall, it's a really pleasant energy. As Venus is connected to feminine energy, so this could be also about a new female friend, or perhaps this could be about having a really pleasant conversation time with another person who is connected to that feminine energy. Because it doesn't always have to be a female. There are males who are very feminine. There are women who are more masculine than feminine. So we are each and different. So it doesn't have to be that it's a female, but someone with that feminine energy could also be present in your life during this transit. Now, on the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo happening at 5 degrees. And Leo is connected to that ambitious and generosity. And Leo is connected to ambition, generosity, loyalty. Leo, this is your 10th house. A full moon. This full moon is connected to the new moon we had back in August 2022. And during that time, think about what you started during that time, what was present in your life. Because during this full moon, the events, the people, situations, projects that were present during that time could become alive, or could be also present, or the theme of this full moon. A full moon in Leo, very strong Leo energy here with that early degree. And we've got an opposition to Pluto in Capricorn, in Aquarius. So this could be about having to deal with a situation at home that perhaps creates a certain degree of obstacle towards career growth and development. Now, this could be also about gaining a better clarity of the direction you want to take moving forward, connected to your career. Now, at the same time, for some people, this could be also when you will be thinking about leaving your job, moving to a different position, to a different department. Here, that if you're not fulfilled in your career, if something isn't working, then this full moon will make it very visible and will trigger some of these emotions and feelings. You've got Jupiter in your seventh house in a direct motion until mid-May. Jupiter in the seventh house here can really attract interesting individuals into your life, especially those who can help you to expand your horizons, who can help you to expand your wings. So keep that in mind, because it's also a good, and the first quarter, 2 quarters are really great for engaging in these interesting connections if you come across them. Now, a full moon in your fourth house could be very much connected also to starting a new job, to launching a business as well. If you've been preparing for this day, for this deadline, then here the full moon could produce these results. So a full moon is about releasing the energy. During the new moon, we plant seeds. We are not aware of what may happen, how things might turn out. There is still that lack of clarity. However, with a full moon, there is a full awareness. There is a full clarity, and this full moon could really stimulate you to face the challenges or the blockages that perhaps you've been avoiding connected to your professional life growth, for example. Now, finally, on the 27th, we've got Uranus stationing direct in Taurus at 19 degrees. Taurus is connected to stable energy. Taurus here, this is your seventh house. So here, relationships, partnerships, and any urges that you perhaps felt that were repressed during the retrograde phase. So any urges connected, or desires, hopes related to partnerships, relationships, your love life, marriage, if they have been repressed in the last few months, then they might suddenly erupt, so to speak, when Uranus stations direct. So there could be this change of direction change of dynamics, a shift happening in your area of relationships. Finally, things could be moving forward for you. Perhaps some mutual plans, goals that you may have with your partner, business partner. Perhaps your contract will be renewing or changing. Even if this is a time of a shift that could be shocking at first, it might actually be a necessary one, because Uranus likes to shake things up in the area of life that has been stagnant. So perhaps if there has been some stagnant energy in your relationship area, partnership, contracts, Uranus will bring this shift, or even that realization that could motivate you, encourage you to face that situation and that perhaps you have been kind of avoiding. Right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Scorpios. Now, and as of that day until the end of March, all the planets will be moving in a direct motion. So there's this forward momentum and a greater ability to reach your goals, reach your objectives. So here we go. Thank you very much, Scorpios, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your January 2024 horoscope. We start with Mercury, the planet of communication, rational thinking, curiosity, transportation, stationing direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. And this is a big deal because, of course, Mercury has been retrograde in your sign since the 23rd of December. And this could have brought a certain degree of lack of clarity when it comes to which direction, which path you want to take. There could have been delays in your career. There could have been also lack of clarity in regards to your career situation, professional life growth and development could have been slowed down and slightly repressed as well. Overall, here with Mercury stationing direct, there's this forward momentum, and you will regain the clarity that you may have lacked in regards to which path you want to follow moving forward. What sort of goals you want to set for yourself in 2024. So it's a really, really good time, these first 3 weeks of the month, of the January, to implement the necessary changes, adjustments, ideas in order to make 2024 a success. Now, here, this month also, the first 3 weeks of January are really, really centered around your money area, finances, income, resources, possessions. So here, Mars is moving into this area of life, into Capricorn on the 4th of January. Mars in Capricorn is exalted, strong and determined, disciplined, ambitious. So here, these first 3 weeks of January are fantastic for really working on your finances, and you could be implementing new strategy in order to spend less, save more. This could be also when you feel especially ambitious to grow your business or a side hustle. Now here with generally with Mars, Mars is the planet on its own connected to drive, courage, motivation. Capricorn is the sign of discipline, responsibility, structure. With Mars in Capricorn, we are so determined, so driven to work on this area of life. And this can also really improve your self-confidence and self-worth on a bigger scale. Now here, yes, of course, this is also when you might be dealing with expenses, because with Mars in the second house, we also have this, well, there's a tendency towards impulse spending, because Mars is connected to that impatient energy and quick, fast-moving energy, and the second house is this house of resources, possessions. You might be also accumulating wealth, resources, or have this inner need. So it's all about here moderation. All right, so we've got a new moon on the 11th at 20 degrees of Capricorn. So here, new beginnings in your area of money. This could be a new product, new service, if you have your own business. This could be also a purchase, a big purchase, a gift, for example. Now with a new moon in your second house, this could be also connected to, it doesn't have to be connected to money necessarily, but it could be connected to perhaps that need to implement some healthy changes into your life, or perhaps you could be having some strong realizations connected to self-worth and self-esteem. If you recently struggled with your self-esteem or self-worth, because Saturn has been squaring your ascendant degree or any other placements you may have in these early degrees of Sagittarius, then this new moon could bring a little bit of spark and light into your life. And perhaps you could be also gaining some more insights about yourself, about the self, your personality through self-help, self-study books. All right. So yes, so new beginnings here for you. Connected also could be to your to a new job, new source of income, because that's also the area of here, the money that we earn through our own efforts, the money that we earn through our independently. So that independence is also very much highlighted here with that Capricorn energy and a new moon. All right, so on the 20th, we've got Pluto leaving Capricorn, your second house, where it has stayed for many, many, many years, and it is moving into Aquarius. So here, this is generally not the final departure from Capricorn, because Pluto will still return to Capricorn in the second part of 2024. And however, in 2024, Pluto is establishing itself more permanently in the sign of Aquarius. Big changes connected to your community, life within your community. There could be some major building work and expansion of the town, of the city where you live, literally of the neighborhood, because the third house deals with our neighborhood, neighbors, our community. So there could be some massive transformative changes, new developments being built, created. And this is a slow moving planet. So it's not something that will just happen overnight. It's a 20 years transit, but here these big, big changes in your neighborhood are going to take place. At the same time, this could be also connected to how you see life, think. It's here the third house deals with our mind, our the way we think, our intellect. Pluto is a planet of transformation here. Pluto in the third house will give you a very probing mind and fantastic research skills. There could be a lot of interest that you might develop over the years in science, in astrology, tarot, numerology. And this is like having this detective mind of an investigator. Pluto in the third house wants to know everything, how things work. Your way of thinking will also transform your connections with people. So you will attract different kind of people into your life and different kind of connections. Very often, those connections will have a transformative effect upon you, upon your life. This could be also about learning, studying, writing. The way you communicate could change as well. So yes, so basically I've just gone through this transit actually. And it's an interesting transit, I must say. It's an interesting transit. And during this time, I actually developed a huge interest in astrology and all the metaphysical topics. But also, yes, it's quite transformative. You will see life very differently. You will think very differently. At least halfway through this transit, especially since Pluto is going to sextile your Sagittarius ascendant. So here that's a positive sextile of opportunities. So perhaps the changes that you go through on the psychological level could really boost your confidence on a bigger scale. All right, so on the 23rd, Venus will move into Capricorn, and Venus in Capricorn is faithful, devoted, old-fashioned, and discipline. So that Venus in Capricorn, that's your second house. So here overall, Venus can bring well, Venus can boost your self-esteem, self-worth. Venus here. So the second house overall is connected to this part of the body. With Venus transiting this area of life, you might crave more sugary, sweet things, something to be aware of. But at the same time, Venus in the second house is also feels comfortable because this area of life is connected to Taurus, naturally, traditionally. And with Venus here, you will be attracted to objects of value, objects that are meaningful as well. But also here, for some, this could be a very extravagant transit when you could be craving some expensive items. So, yes, so perhaps it's something to watch out for, generally speaking. But overall, with Venus here, it's also a fruitful time. So this could be connected to financial gains. So it's not only about you wanting to spend, but also about you gaining financially, or perhaps you will receive some interesting gifts as well. Venus is connected to balance and harmony as well, sensible energies. And here it's all about moderation. All right, so then we've got full moon in Leo on the 25th at 5 degrees. Leo, this is your ninth house. The ninth house is connected to foreign places, foreign people, life philosophy, life principles, but also anything to do with our life direction and life purpose, the meaning of life. It's not about the mundane every day, but it's about something bigger. So usually during transits in the ninth house, we just want to be free. We crave independence, we crave freedom. We want to just spread our wings and experience a little bit of adventure, spontaneity. A full moon in Leo. So a full moon tells us that this story is connected to a bigger picture that started before this full moon arrived. And this new moon is connected to the new moon we had back in August 2022. And during that time, you may have started something new. And, during a new moon, this is often connected to some realizations, some new ideas, thoughts. And then after, we start to work on these energies, work on these ideas. So a full moon is about letting go, releasing. Now, for some, this could be about releasing a business, a service, a book out into the open on a global scale. Public speaking could be also here the case. Some involvement in some international business affairs, for example. At the same time, you could be also publishing a book, a course. And a full moon here could also mean that you're completing a course of study. And perhaps you've been studying astrology course, and now this course is coming to an end. Or perhaps you're moving to the next level. Now, here, this full moon, since the moon is fully visible, and during a full moon, and the emotions are heightened, and at that point, Pluto will be in Aquarius, opposing this full moon. This could be also about having to face a certain degree of some energetical experience that could be connected to something or someone trying to overpower you, or perhaps disagree with, or even make a negative comment about your need for adventure, for spontaneity, and for spreading your wings. So here it's all about following what is right for you, what fits well within your reality, without it being overly externally influenced. Because here with after that Mercury retrograde in your sign, and also Saturn squaring your ascendant, especially those first 7 degrees in 2023. By the time this full moon arrives in your ninth house, this is an amazing full moon for doing something that will help you to liberate yourself from some heavy baggages that it seems like you've been carrying for a few months. So let your hair loose, enjoy, and connect or reconnect with your path, with your life path. If you feel like you haven't been following your path, or you've been kind of out, maybe not on the right track, this full moon could realign you with your purpose. Travel is also emphasized, of course. Now, here Uranus will station direct in Taurus at 19 degrees on the 27th. So here, Uranus in Taurus has been retrograde for quite some time, and it often actually stations direct in January. It was the case also in 2023. Uranus is connected to energies related to also the technology and media, internet, futuristic, progressive energies, but also revolution, sudden and unexpected events. Uranus doesn't like to be restricted. And Taurus is all about stability. Taurus doesn't like changes. So here with your sixth house, here, if you feel like you've been wanting to implement some new ideas or perhaps change your lifestyle at least a little bit, but it was difficult, there have been obstacles along the way, or perhaps you didn't have the motivation, Uranus will shake things up. Uranus doesn't like stagnation and monotony. So if things have been overly monotonous and overly predictable, Uranus will shake things up for you in the everyday life. So this could be connected to some little lifestyle changes you could be going through as you begin the year. Not negative. Now, bear in mind that from the end of January until the very end of March, all the planets in the sky will be moving in a direct motion. So it's a really fantastic time for reaching your goals, reaching your objectives as well, for launching new businesses, for learning new things, for overall, for moving forward with your wishes, desires. All right, so thank you very much. Let's move into the next sign. Hello, Capricorns, and welcome to your January 2024 horoscope. We start with Mercury stationing direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. Mercury is connected to communication, rational thinking, curiosity, transportation. When Mercury was retrograde, it was difficult to perhaps communicate clearly. There could have been some communication, transportation, dilemmas, delays. And overall here, there could have been that cloudiness, lack of clarity that experienced throughout the retrograde phase. Now with Mercury stationing direct, many of us will regain that clarity, especially those who were not born during Mercury retrograde. And overall, it will be easier to communicate, to present, to collect your thoughts. All right, so here that for the forward momentum is taking place as we begin the year, Mercury and Jupiter are moving in a forward motion. So this is actually good news, especially since this retrograde ended in your 12th house, and 12th house on its own brings very different energies, hidden energies. And we are often in our head during the transits of Mercury in the 12th house. Yes, so basically when Mercury stations direct here, you will definitely have this experience, this shift, perhaps even a change of mind, change of direction when it comes to anything to do with your everyday life, routine, lifestyle, and your work and employment. All right, so yes, so that's Mercury. Now on the 4th, Mars will move into your sign. This is such good news because you will feel so much more energized. And during Sagittarius season, here when the sun is just before our ascendant sign or our sun sign here, very often we feel like withdrawing, we feel like contemplating more than usual, and we lack energy. And here with Mars in the 12th house, you may have also experienced that lack of energy as well. So here with Mars moving into Capricorn, where it feels fantastic, exalted. I was going to say exhausted. No, exalted. So this is the position of strength. You will feel so motivated and driven, and overall Mars in Capricorn, it's just Mars in the first house is already gives you this massive push, but Mars in Capricorn is disciplined, dedicated, driven. So really fantastic month, January here, the first 3 weeks of January overall during the Capricorn season to move forward with your goals, desires, ambitions, and to reach your goals as well. Really fantastic time. There will be so much happening in your life, but there's a lot of focus upon your goals and desires. It's all about you here with that first house activation. All right, so here we've got on the 11th, there is a new moon in Capricorn at 20 degrees. A new moon occurs when the sun and the moon meet at the same degree in the same sign. So we've got a new lunar cycle in your first house. So in many ways, it's a brand new cycle for you as well, because it's the first house and also your sign. So something new about you is about to emerge, come up. Now, at this point, it might be just a thought, a realization, and you will be working on it in the 4 weeks following this new moon. Something connected to you. This could be about a new job, a new source of income, a new course of study, a new goal, a new desire, something to do perhaps with a move, a relocation even. You've got the eclipses here in the first and the fourth house, which will start to be activated between March and April. And these eclipses will generally occur pretty much in a very close proximity, activating these important areas of life. So this new moon and the transits in Capricorn in January could be very much connected to the eclipses occurring in March and April as well. All right, so here, yes, a new moon. So it's basically at this time we also have Capricorn, Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn. This is also a big deal because Pluto is leaving now your sign. So these massive transformative years of your life are now coming to an end, and now the time has come to look at your money area, at your finances, financial security, stability, your approach to money making, and approach to wealth, to resource possessions is undergoing this major change. And as I mentioned in the previous videos, this could be very much connected to just getting rid of a lot of things on a bigger scale and decluttering. It's all about death and rebirth in this area of life as well. There could be a sense of crisis you might experience here as Pluto is at 29 degree of Capricorn, because there's this huge energetical shift that is going on the subconscious level. And for you, this could be a complete exhaustion and a sense of crisis at some point as well. So don't worry, this is a natural process. It's a huge shift of energy that Capricorn is, departing. It's such a slow-moving planet and very intense, moving out of your sign after so many years. So here, 2024 is in many ways a really huge year, big shift and changes for you. So just keep this in mind. It's not just you affected, it's generally Capricorns are going through this huge shift along with Aquarians, because now they are going to welcome Pluto in their sign. All right, so now, yes, coming to Pluto, Pluto's moving to Aquarius. So I've just actually explained what it could mean for you. And that's on the 20th of on the 20th of January, Pluto will move into your second house of self-worth, self-esteem, personal resources, income. So for many, this could be very much connected to a new job in 2024, new career, new job, changes to your finances. Why not? Because we will have 2 eclipses in Libra in your 10th house. So something is coming to an end, and there are some new beginnings as well. So first we will have a lunar eclipse in Libra, and then we'll have a solar eclipse in Libra in October. First in March, a lunar. So you're dealing with major endings, major new beginnings in this area of life. At the same time, the home is also affected. So here for Pluto to move, with Pluto moving into your second house, you will be changing your job. For example, you could be changing your job, a career, your business might be transforming. You could be retiring as well. And generally, it's all about also clearing, having this massive clear out, getting rid of things that outlived their purpose, donating. You might be donating things, throwing away if they just broken. But there is this need to really regenerate, death and rebirth here in this area of life. Get rid of what you don't need and leave what is needed in this next major phase of your life. But at the same time, this is the area also of self-worth, self-esteem. This is also undergoing this major shift, major transformation as well. So generally here, it's a big year for you, 2024. So a year of opportunities in many ways. All right, so on the 23rd, Venus will move into Capricorn. So yet again, this is a huge month for you, really. And Venus in Capricorn is old-fashioned, devoted, faithful. But overall, Venus here, it will give you a lot of a big boost of energy in a really lovely and charming way. So usually when Venus is in our first house, we are appreciated more than usual. We are complimented as well. So you could be receiving compliments. This could be also a time of greater appreciation by others. And overall, here, this is a time when you might be also dating for those who are single. It's a great time for dating because here with Venus in Capricorn, this is about seeking long-lasting commitments. It's about being serious about your approach to relationships, to love as well. And you've got Cancer on your seventh house, that nurturing Cancerian energy that you attract into your life. And with Venus in the first house, it's a lovely, lovely connection if you were to date during this time. Okay, so now we've got full moon in Leo on the 25th of January at 5 degrees. A full moon in Leo. So here Leo is connected to that playful, theatrical, generous and loyal energy. Leo, this is your eighth house, and the eighth house deals with deep and transformative energy. How interesting, because a couple of days before this event, Pluto will have moved or would have moved to Aquarius. So there is this major shift already happening. And you've got a full moon. So it looks like you will be undergoing a little transformation. You will be implementing some transformative changes in your life. Without a doubt, this month. Now, here, this is also connected to taxes. You could be paying your personal tax return or filing it and submitting it. It's still time if you're running late, so this full moon could be about that. This could be also about your mortgage coming to renewal, or you could be taking a closer look at your investments. A full moon is connected to endings, conclusions, and here during this time, we generally see things through the real or true colors. It's also a good time for healing any difficult memories, wounds. It's an energy of regeneration on a deeper level. So here, this full moon is connected to the new moon we had back in August 2022, a new moon in Leo. And here during this time, you could be dealing with a situation that has already started during that time. Now, on the 27th, Uranus will station direct in Taurus at 19 degrees. That's your fifth house, romance, love, affection, and also hobbies, interests, that creative self-expression, children, conception are emphasized. So Uranus is connected to revolution, independence, living life on your own terms. And with Uranus here, when Uranus is retrograde, its energies are repressed. So any desires, hopes, wishes, urges you may have had connected to that area of fun, entertainment, romance, children. Now, during this event of Uranus stationing direct, you might suddenly erupt. You might suddenly decide, okay, I want to start ice skating, or I want to start painting, or I want to set up a new business, and I'm ready for it. I don't care what other people think. So here, or perhaps you might conceive if you've been trying for a long time, or you might suddenly decide you want to break away from a romantic relationship that is not beneficial for your well-being. And Uranus will shake things up, give you the inner courage. Or perhaps this is about seeking more spark or finding more spark in your life, especially if things have been overly monotonous. Thank you very much, Capricorns. I wish you a pleasant month, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your January 2024 horoscope. And we start with Mercury stationing direct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius on the 1st of January. So here, Mercury is connected to our communication, rational thinking, curiosity, but also anything to do with transportation and our siblings and our social interactions. So when Mercury is retrograde, we might lack clarity when it comes which direction we want to take. It could be that some people detached or disappeared from your life, other people's reappeared. So there is this confusion, mismatch, and lack of clarity in the air. As we begin the year, Mercury will station direct. We will regain this clarity that perhaps you may have lacked. And also it's a good time for implementing these little changes, adjustments that you have been wanting to implement in the final weeks of December. So here, if some people disappeared from your life during the retrograde phase, they might reappear after the retrograde is over. And perhaps this is also when you will be working on your long-term goals and plans as we begin the year, especially since the first 3 weeks of January are a rather introspective month. Capricorn season is a sleepy season very often for Aquarians, because when the sun is in the sign that is before our sun sign or our ascendant sign, this has got this 12th house energy to it, even if you are watching it for your sun sign. So here in January, it might be that you'll be a lot in your head, especially in the middle of January when Mercury moves into your 12th house. But at the same time, with Mars being here, Mars in Capricorn is exalted, strong, determined, disciplined, dedicated. So overall, with Mars in the 12th house, we work fantastically. When we work independently, we can really, really focus our energy on a specific goal project. Here, there is this introspective energy, but also energy that is best used or used more effectively and efficiently when you work here independently. So here, this could be about working from behind the scenes on a specific goal, project, idea. This could be also when you will be reviewing, reassessing, contemplating, and making plans for this the next 12 months. But at the same time, with Mars in the 12th house, this is the time generally when you might not see quick results for your efforts. So don't get discouraged, because the recognition will come. But Mars in the 12th house can slow things down. So just don't be too harsh on yourself if you don't see instant results of your efforts, because these will come, especially when we begin the Aquarius season and when Mars moves into your first house as well. So don't lose hope. Work productively, constructively, and consistently, and then the results and the outcomes that you are looking for will most likely come in February. All right, so here on the 11th, we've got a new moon in your 12th house in Capricorn. So here again, that energy of tradition, structure, discipline is highlighted. A new moon is about new beginnings connected here to the 12th house. This could be about you wanting to implement a healthy regime into your lifestyle, into your daily life, because the 12th house deals with things we can't see or others can't see. It's a very private area of life. So this could be about implementing healthy changes in order to perhaps fix some problems that you might be experiencing with overindulgence or with some, sugar intake, alcohol intake, sleeping pattern. So this could be about implementing some healthy changes in order to move away from these negative habits. New goals, new ideas, journaling is really emphasized, and lots of also here, because at this point we still have nothing in air signs. I'm talking here about the planets, because we have the South Node in Libra, but Pluto's at 29 degrees at this point in Capricorn. So it's also a now or never feeling. So you might have this feeling of urgency, but at the same time here, the new moon in 12th house is great for self-discovery, for self-improvement, meditation. You could be working with crystals, tarot, working on your vision map, for example, law of attraction. This sort of topics could be also on your mind. All right, so on the 20th, Pluto will move into Aquarius. It's not the final departure of Pluto from Capricorn, because Pluto will return into Capricorn in the second part of 2024. However, in 2024, Pluto is establishing itself pretty permanently in the sign of Aquarius. So of course, that's your first house. Pluto in Aquarius, this is huge, and I'm sure you're already feeling this. Your life is changing on a deeper, deeper level. A huge transformation of the self, of how you see things in life and how you are perceived by others. So many people will go through lifestyle changes, physical appearance as well. You could be getting a haircut, changing the color of your hair, changing your style gradually. Here, that Plutonic energy is connected to more Plutonic energies. I'm curious, are you perhaps more attracted to darker colors as Pluto is coming into your first house, especially those who have any important placements and their ascendant degree in those very, very early degrees of Aquarius, because those people will be especially influenced in 2024. So here, this could be also about having a child, getting married, relocating, moving, buying your own place. But it's likely to be something that you've been wanting to achieve for quite some time. And this is suddenly or finally happening. And please don't get discouraged if nothing is happening in your life. This could be that basically your important Aquarius placements are at slightly later degree. So the change will come. I don't know if I already told you, but I was born with Pluto in a Scorpio, and Scorpio is my rising sign. So the formative years of my life were with Pluto transiting my first house. And those years were very, very eventful because Pluto is connected to energy of death and rebirth. And I experienced so many of these in the early stage of life. And this was connected to a major move between Poland and Spain, for example, changing my environment, changing cultures, learning different languages, but at the same time, when I returned from Spain to Poland, because I left when I was 1 year old, I was unable to adapt for a long time because was pulled out with my roots from a foreign country and brought back into the native country, but which I didn't recognize because I left so early. So these are massive transformative times that take time to adapt to the change, to the energies. And at the same time here, it's the changes that occur here during this time will have a very, very, very long-lasting effect upon maybe even the rest of your life. So here, really interesting potential opportunities here with this transit. All right, so here we've got Venus on the 23rd moving into Capricorn. And Venus in Capricorn is faithful, devoted, and traditional. Venus in Capricorn, that's your 12th house. So this is about some serious creative time. You could be working creatively, doing creative things from behind the scenes. This is also when you could be involved in a romantic relationship or encounter, connection. But here, whatever relationships you start with Venus in Capricorn, even though they can be long lasting, that Capricorn energy is connected to stability, but at the same time, with the 12th house energy, you might want to keep it a secret or private for quite some time, at least until the transits from Capricorn move into Aquarius. Now, at the same time, with Venus in the 12th house, we are drawn into vulnerability. So to help others in the need, charity, volunteering is emphasized, compassion. Here with Venus in the 12th house, if you are already in a steady relationship, this might not be the most romantic time because the energies here are hidden, or even if it's perhaps things might be the same, but from your perspective, you might feel like perhaps your partner doesn't have time for you or he seems distant. So it might not even be the case. Things might be completely the same, but your perspective of love and how much love you need at the time might shift and change. And for this reason, you might have these realizations. So it's something to be also aware of as well. But here, love matters are hidden. So you might want to keep things private, and you might want to keep it to yourself. All right, so moving forward, on the 25th, we've got a full moon in Leo happening at 5 degrees in your 7th house. A full moon in Leo. So Leo is connected to generosity, loyalty, leadership, theatrical, playful energy. So these are also some of the qualities that you may seek or you may attract in the people that come into your life, especially the partners. Now, with a full moon in Leo, a full moon in Leo is connected to a new moon that occurred prior to the full moon. So this full moon is connected to the new moon we had back in August 2022. So think carefully, what started, where did you start, who was present in your life during that time, because during this full moon, you might see that the people, the energies, the circumstances are similar. A full moon is about letting go, releasing, things become clear because the moon is fully visible. So the emotions are heightened and you might actually have a better understanding of where it is that you stand in your relationship, in your partnership. You could be finishing a specific contract you have with another person. So this could be connected to some endings, conclusions. Pluto will be opposing this full moon. So here, don't let the other person or someone else, third party, to overpower you, to change your mind on something that you set your mind on. A full moon in the 7th house is about the other people and their influence, their impact upon our life. So this could be about someone else being involved in your life here in this full moon. This could be your partner, this could be your business partner, this could be your boss, for example. So here, full moon, yes, it's about releasing the energy, letting go, having some important conversation that you've been maybe avoiding or delaying. Things could be finally clear, even though there could be intensity in the air. There could be some transformative exchange of information and dialogue that might not be pleasant, but necessary. So here it will depend on your circumstances, of course. So for some, this could be also connected to the landlord, because straight after this full moon, Uranus will station direct in your 4th house. There is a little shakeup, a little bit of unpredictability. So perhaps if you're living a shared accommodation, someone could be moving in or moving out, or the landlord could be making an announcement, or some plans that you had with your partner connected to the home and domestic life might take a different turn. Uranus stationing direct at 19 degrees of Taurus on the 27th. This is generally about some urges that you may have had connected to your home, family dynamics, urges, desires, hopes that were suppressed, repressed during the retrograde phase might suddenly erupt. And this could be connected to some monotonous, stagnant energy that suddenly needs a little wake-up call. All right, so I will leave you to it. You will know best how it will play out in your life. But other than that, thank you very much. And let's move into the next sign. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope for January 2024. So here we start with Mercury stationing direct in Sagittarius on January the 1st in your 10th house. So here there is this fresh breath of energy, a forward momentum, and a possible change of mind, direction in your area of career, professional life, growth, and development. A really fantastic time for dedicating some of your energies into moving forward with any career-related goals and objectives, especially since we've got loads of energies present in the first 3 weeks of January in your area of Capricorn, 11th house, the 11th house of long-term goals, hopes, and wishes, with Mercury, the planet of communication, rational thinking, regaining its strength. It will be easier to make long-lasting and future plans and goals. All right, so here on the 4th, Mars will move into Capricorn, where it is exalted into your 11th house. Fantastic time for working on your goals and plans for 2024. Here with Mars in Capricorn, this is all about stability, working effectively, constructively on your goals and hopes for the future. At the same time, here you could be involved in some group activities, joining new groups, seeking like-minded people, individuals, setting up your own group, your own tribe. Perhaps you're starting a new job, a new role in a larger organization, because the 11th house is all about here crowds, big groups, teamwork. So this could be also very much the theme of January. Now, if it isn't related to any teamwork, group or community work, then perhaps this is about your friendships, catching up, socializing, celebrating. Now, on a different level here, on with the 11th house activation, a vision map could be also created during this time for you. A good time for doing so, without a doubt. With Mars in Capricorn, you are driven, ambitious, dedicated, and you have this ability to work constructively and effectively as long as you invest enough time and energy. Now, on the 11th, we've got the new moon in Capricorn happening at 11 degrees. Capricorn, here again, your 11th house is highlighted. A new moon is about new beginnings, a fresh start, new idea. Very often during a new moon or on the day of a new moon, this is just about having some strong realizations, new ideas, thoughts. It's not that something huge will suddenly emerge or happen. However, you might feel slightly impatient. And you might feel like you're running out of time. You need to implement this idea, goal, whatever it is, as soon as possible, because it might be too late otherwise. The reason I'm saying that is because Pluto is at 29 degrees of Capricorn. The 29th critical degree is often connected to risk taking and also to that feeling that you're running out of time. Right. So new friendships, new connections are also very much highlighted with such a boost here, also with Venus at this time in your 10th house. You could be recognized for your work, for your achievements. You make a good impression on your people in your outside world, public life as well. All right, so now on the 20th, Pluto will move into Aquarius, a huge event. Now, this isn't the final departure from Capricorn, because Pluto will return into Capricorn in the second part of 2024. At this point, it is trying to establish itself in Aquarius, and it will finally enter Aquarius more permanently towards the end of the year. However, in the meantime, here the 12th house is the area of hidden matters, subconscious mind, spirituality, the invisible forces. And with Pluto here, it's all about that transformative energy. So this could be very much connected to lifestyle changes, a healthier lifestyle, about moving away from any addictions, overindulgence, especially if you've struggled in the last few years. Now Pluto is bringing this energetical push to make it happen. Now, with Pluto moving into your 12th house, you could be also starting some work connected to spirituality, healing, either yourself, or perhaps you're entering a new career and you want to start healing other people based on your own healing that you have gone through in the last few years, perhaps during that Saturn Aquarius transit. And now with Pluto in your first house, you're entering this major phase of your life, a phase of a greater maturity. And here, a new career could be also on the horizon with Pluto moving into your 12th house, because you have this very strong impact, influence, energetically speaking upon other people when Pluto transits your 12th house. It's all about that transformation, regeneration on a much deeper scale and level. So yes, healing and moving away from disturbing habits, routines is highlighted, but at the same time, healing of the self or of other people, becoming a healer, a spiritual teacher, coach. This could be also the case as well. Since you've just gone also through the eclipses in your intellectual houses connected to learning, higher knowledge. Saturn left Aquarius in 2023, where it's probably ended or helped you to end a few major chapters in your life. And now Saturn in your first house, you're starting this very brand new cycle. And things will become much clearer what this cycle is actually about for you in 2024, because Saturn is now not moving back. There's no going back to Capricorn, to Aquarius. It is staying in Pisces for quite some time. Right, so on the 23rd, Venus will move into Capricorn, and that's your 11th house. So overall, this is a very sociable time for you, with so much energy still in Capricorn, because Mars is still here as Venus enters this area of life. So overall, lots of opportunities for social interactions. Perhaps you'll be presenting work in a group environment, public speaking. This could be also connected to becoming a little bit more romantic, or getting involved in a romantic relationship with a friend or someone that you meet at a concert or some social gathering events. Venus in the 11th house is often connected to a new romance, passion, affection. That's also Mars here. So for some Pisces rising, this could be about a new love encounter, connection, romance. Passion is in the air, but you need to get involved in some group activities. You need to get yourself out there, because that's the area of groups, social events, community life. So you need to get yourself out there, because if you do, then you have a greater chance to finding a potential partner, or perhaps a new connection with whom you could perhaps develop something like a stronger feeling. All right, so that's Venus here, but overall here, it's a really pleasant transit, and it gives you also a little bit more hope when it comes to reaching certain goals and milestones in the upcoming months. Now, here we've got a full moon in Leo happening at 5 degrees on the 25th of January. Leo is connected to generosity, loyalty, playfulness, leadership, but also theatrical and playful energy. So here, Leo, this is your 6th house. And here with the 6th house, you need a little bit of fun, entertainment in your everyday life. If things are overly daunting and repetitive, you might feel slightly discouraged. And this full moon is bringing your attention into your 6th house, so your lifestyle. It's all about your lifestyle, your work, your daily responsibilities. Things become very clear. And perhaps if there isn't enough fun in your life, in your everyday life, if it's just about monotonous tasks, repetitive responsibilities, then this full moon will bring it to light and hopefully help you to get out of the roots of this monotonous energy. At the same time here, this could be also about either completing a work project, finishing a work contract, or you could be also changing your diet. You could be healing from a treatment or a surgery that you had recently. It's overall this is all connected to you, these lifestyle, everyday tasks, responsibilities, duties. But at the same time, your work and employment is highlighted. So perhaps you'll be starting a new job. If you recently went through the interview process, you might actually hear about the next step. So this could be also about perhaps your babysitter, nanny leaving, but someone else might come in their place. Here, this full moon is connected to the new moon we had back in 2022, August 2022. So here, think about what energies were present during that time, if you can remember, especially if something major occurred. Do you have any placements in Leo at around 5 degrees? Because this will definitely have a strong significance upon this full moon's influence upon your life, and especially connection to that gestation lunar cycle. A full moon is about endings, conclusions, about releasing the excess of energy, about moving into the next phase of something that fulfilled its purpose. Now, on the 27th, Uranus will station direct in Taurus at 19 degrees. That's here your third house. So this could be a time of some news, especially since we are also around this full moon. The full moon is on the 25th, and Uranus will station direct on the 27th. So perhaps this could be a time of some good news or some news. This could be also related to perhaps generally you changing your mind about a specific idea. So while Uranus was retrograde, the energy is connected to Uranus, so that independent, erratic, unique, original, eccentric energy was repressed. So any urges you might have had connected to these new ideas you may want to implement into your life, or perhaps if this is connected to a new business, or perhaps if you feel like you were not able to fully express your ideas, thoughts, urges. If some of these energies were repressed, Uranus will shake things up. So all of that, all of the desires, urges that you may have had in the recent past, if they were repressed, suppressed, then Uranus will shake things up. And you might suddenly change your mind about a specific plan, goal you may have had for yourself, for your life. You might suddenly decide you want to go for it. So perhaps you've been wanting to launch your own business, your own goal, start a new course of study, for instance. Then here Uranus will shake things up, give you this courage to push forward and move forward. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Pisces, and all the best. All right, so you reached the final sign for this forecast. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you a pleasant month of January 2024, and until the next time, bye for now.